I have spent years for it to culminate to this moment. My life wrapped in a story for the ages. This is my magnum opus. It is my mother's laugh and my father's stoicism wrapped in a bow of film writing I have never explored before. This is what I was made for. This is my The Jungle, my Romeo and Juliet, and my To Kill a Mockingbird. This is what I was put on God's green earth for. No, this may not be my last film, nor may it be the best, but my experiences throughout my life have only added to the emotion of this film. All the suffering faced, the sleepless nights, the weeks of periodic homelessness, and the days filled with sorrow have built up the foundation of my being, and I am ready to show the world.
The majority of Hollywood writers have historically been middle class. But when streamers like...
They are on the move. We are on 3rd Street, where you can see that the striking Writers Guild of America members are here.
Unpaid and out of work. Writers in America are now more than 50 days into their strike.
Over the past couple of days, you may have heard of the writer's strike. But what exactly is it? And why are so many people participating? To answer this question, let's take a dive into history, and first look at the Homestead Strike. It was 1892 when the strike at Carnegie's steel mill first took place. But let's start with who was involved. There were two main groups that decided to go on strike: skilled workers and unskilled workers. Unskilled workers were often immigrants from Western Europe who found work in the steel mills as a way to support their families. Most days, they would work for 12 hours, earning a total of $10 a week. This was barely enough to support housing, let alone good food, good clothing, and education. Every unskilled worker lived in a state of poverty. Skilled workers were already part of a union before Carnegie threatened to take it away out of fear of the skilled workers having too much control. They made about $30 to $70 a week and have been in the U.S. since they were born, but still experienced unsafe working conditions. Skilled workers made the steel, and unskilled workers obtained the resources. After a meeting, both groups of workers decided to go on strike. Carnegie was not happy and proceeded to hire scabs, or strike breakers. His manager, Henry Frick, hired guards to keep the workers out of the mill. All of the choices culminated in shots being fired and 16 people dying. In the end, the strike was unsuccessful, and the workers were forced to go back to terrible conditions that eventually got worse. But wait, how is this related to the writer's strike, you ask, in the comfort of your chair, sofa, or bed? The writer's strike started on May 2nd of 2023. Writers are fighting for television and film writing to become a sustainable career, as they are often underpaid for their work. They are also fighting to stop the elimination of writers' rooms, which are rooms dedicated to writing for a show or movie, and stop them from being replaced with gig jobs, effectively making the work unsustainable in the long run. According to the official WGA website, their demands include the following: increase minimum compensation significantly to address the devaluation of writing in all areas of television, new media, and features. Standardize compensation and residual terms for features, whether released theatrically or on streaming. Address the abuse of mini-rooms. Ensure appropriate television series writing compensation through the entire process of pre-production, production, and post-production. Expand. So far, employers that work at major companies such as Netflix, Hulu, HBO, etc. have been making their internal affairs relatively private, attempting to instead negotiate with WGA directly without making any public statements. The WGA stays strong in its hopes for a better future for writers, despite no information being given as to whether or not it will be successful. The strategy of halting all production of writing seems to be effective in pressuring the large companies, but only time will tell whether or not they concede. Both the WGA strike and the Homestead strike started due to greed from executives and a need to be able to survive within their country. They both went on strike and had executives who refused to negotiate or talk in person. The context of the work done may be different, but the reason why is undoubtedly similar. History in America will continue to repeat without proper and drastic change, and it is the job of everyone who lives within its borders to hold people accountable for the actions they commit.